Josh Mize. I'm here to talk to you about my dream car. There's a lot of exciting things going on in electric cars and open source cars, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. So first of all, why we need electric cars. Everybody's heard, about all the reasons. David Petea said over 90% of today's wars are about oil and gas. Everybody remembers Deepwater Horizon, and we don't know if we're going to be able to keep getting the oil at the rate that we're going to need it. But they're too expensive. We don't know where we're going to charge them. We don't have the infrastructure. They take too long to charge, even if you can find space to charge them. And if the electricity comes from coal, then you're not really solving any environmental problems. Better Place is a company that I do not work for and have no financial interest in, but they do some really cool things and have some interesting solutions to the infrastructure problem. They're an electric vehicle infrastructure company. So the first thing they do is they separate the cost of the upfront cost of the battery from the cost of the car. You sign up for a service, you pay for that over time, and currently at today's prices, it's as cheap as gas, or if not a little cheaper, and price of batteries are going down, oil's going up. And they're going to subsidize your upfront cost of the vehicle, similar to the way you can get a cell phone for cheap or even free someday by signing an agreement for the service. As part of the service, they'll install charging stations at your homes, at workplace, and of course public places. And most of the time is spent parked at one of these places. So that's where it doesn't really matter how long it's going to charge, then they can take advantage of intelligent charging there. And for those long trips, when you don't want to have to wait every 100 miles, wait a few hours to get recharged, you can they'll swap your battery. It's part of the service. You don't own it, so they can just swap it out. And it's less than a minute to swap out. It's completely automated. And the combination of long-term agreements to secure clean, renewable energy combined with just a whole bunch of batteries to take advantage of intermittent power from solar and wind is a really big win. This is the Renault Fluence. It's going to be the first electric car in production that has that switchable battery compatible system. Mass produced, it's going to be affordable, not bad looking, but this is about my dream car, and my dream car is open source, and Local Motors, a different company. This is their Rally Fighter, and it's their first open source car. They make it in microfactories, which are regional. And it's completely community driven. Anyone can join the community, submit designs. The community votes on designs and participates in the entire process. And the owners, the buyers actually can go into the microfactories and put them together themselves. Also locally, we have a group, Electric Thrust, which they're not building cars from scratch. They're retrofitting existing vehicles like a Ford Ranger, a Mini Cooper, 33 Ford, and you can get a nice car that, anyway, so that's all utopian and everything, but here's what's happening right now. In Tokyo since April, they've had a battery swap station, multiple taxis going through there every day, a whole bunch of battery swaps, average time under a minute. In Israel, they're going to have, they have an electric vehicle demonstration center, and they've already got over thousands of these charge points installed. They're putting the battery swap stations in the ground right now. They've already committed to over 100,000 of these, well, not necessarily the Fluence, but from Renault. Every 25 miles, there's going to be a battery swap station where people can just pull in, swap, and keep going. And the total cost of the infrastructure is equivalent to 1 week of gasoline for the state of Israel. And it scales up. The numbers work out to be about a week's worth of gasoline in the U.S. to install the infrastructure in the U.S. But the big thing is China has decided they want to get into cars in a big way. They're just going to skip the internal combustion engine and go to, they've got 99% of the power electronics PhDs are Chinese, and we're making pretty much all the other electronics. They're going to apply that, and their model, which is get everybody in the room and go for it. And they're going to be building electric cars cheaper than anyone else can afford to. They've also signed agreements in several other locations, including here in the U.S., Hawaii, California. But what we can do is we can't necessarily build them, but we can put our voice behind companies who are generally trying to make the world a better place.